there, folks.
Hi there.
It's another episode of Würfel Cast, episode
Hooray.
113. And the topic of the day is top 5 games that need aftermarket upgrades. Well,
Sure.
we'll talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
But um, we're going to get to the first topic. But before that, did you see who won the Estonian Eurovision
I did.
contest?
I've kept up with most of them this year so far. So far, I think Finland's the best, um, but we'll
Well,
see.
yeah.
Only there's still a good 10 or 15 songs to be decided.
True. All right. But let's get to the Watcher's Babble.
All right.
This is all about what we have watched so far. And I debated what I'm going to talk about, but you first.
All right. So I happened to be watching something, and an advertisement came up on Netflix for another show. And I was like, well, what is this? So I watched kind of into the advertisement. The show is called Cassandra, and it is a German show. It's a limited series, so just six
Is it?
episodes with two S's, Cassandra.
Let's see.
And it is about a smart home, and it's a smart home from the 1970s, and it's been kind of down for 30 years, for 35 years, I don't know, for a while. And and a family moves in, and the smart home comes to life. And the name of the smart home's AI system is Cassandra, and it's that very high-tech looking robot. And then it's also sort of throughout the house. And it wakes up and decides it really likes the family and wants to spend its time gaslighting them. And it's,
Okay.
it's a very interesting show. It was in German, which I don't get to watch many shows in German, so that was kind of fun. I'm sure that there's English options, but I enjoyed kind of a chance to dust off the old language skills. But it's only six episodes, and I found it very enjoyable. Some of the directions it took were a little bit weird. Some were very unexpected. And on the whole, I mean, I don't know that it needs a second season. Of course, anything that's successful, who knows if it'll be successful, right? But anything that's successful ends up getting a second season anyway. But I found the story was nice. It was complete. It was sort of this hostile AI, but in sort of a kind of a mommy dearest type of a way.
Uh-huh.
And it was very good.
Yeah. I I realized we skip a lot. There's a lot of U.S. influence on the cinema market, say Hollywood and whatever, and just shows a lot of American shows. Um,
This is not.
and
This is a
I mean,
German
this
show.
one's not. That's the thing. And in Netflix, there's a lot of those popular shows that come from U.S. or maybe UK, but we skip a lot of shows that are like German, French, whatever. Korean has become very popular lately, but I mean, we should skip that, and I would encourage others too to look for these obscure shows for you. Maybe not obscure for the domestic audience, but I've seen some Spanish shows, mostly horror, but I mean, like, it's been weird, but
Hmm.
also interesting to watch. Yeah, and I'm
There you
into
have it.
and I'm into. I started watching a lot of um YouTube videos or documentaries, whatever, about murders and whatever else. I don't know why. I'm on a streak of murder mystery for some reason.
I
But
see.
so to spice it up, I watch animes to kind of get some colors in it. And I
Okay.
was debating. I was about to talk about. I was about to talk about Dragon Ball Daima, which is the Dragon Ball series that basically came out. It's Akira um, Akira Toriyama's original work. It's his work. He died not so long ago. He's that legendary Dragon Ball creator. but maybe it's too niche. I think it's for those who like Dragon Ball a lot.
Oh.
But let me talk because I don't know if I talked about this one. I think not. I'm watching and tell me if I'm wrong. I'm watching the series called Sakamoto Days. Did I talk about that previously?
I don't know that I remember this one.
Okay, so this is about a world where there's lots of assassins, and there's that legendary, the world's best, most feared assassin, Sakamoto. And from the first episode, you find him. They give you a brief backstory, and you find him being fat, having a family, and having a family shop.
Okay.
It's basically he found a wife, and that wife said, "You want to be with me? No more killings." And then he became like a father. But then things start happening, like because his past starts to kind of crawl up to him. All of the assassins are coming up and try to kill him and whatever he needs to protect. But there's a golden rule: you cannot kill anyone. So it has some fun moments. It has this humor, no usual anime humor. It has cool scenes of fighting. It just weirdly interesting show. It's like being fat. He's still extremely fast, powerful, whatever. He is like number one. And then, but it's interesting to discover the sort of villains, which they are all different assassins or assassin groups or whatever. You discover those villains, and they have different kind of powers or approach to that. So it's fun, and how he
All right.
gathers friends around him. So
Sounds interesting.
it is. It's still ongoing. Each episode comes out some, I don't know, whatever, once a week, but there's like maybe 8 episodes out or something like that. So
Okay.
something to watch.
There we have
All
it.
right. Yep. Let's get away from the Watcher's Babble and get to board games. That's what we're here about.
It is.
Here we have recent plays. Tell me, Kyle.
All right. Well, I've been sort of digging myself out from a deluge of old Kickstarters that have been coming in. And this is a game that arrived, and I was very excited because I already knew how to play it. It's because I played it on our recent board game cruise, and this game is Galactic Cruise. Now I have my own copy, and I set it up and decided to try the solo version. And I found the solo to be delightful, if on the easy side. It's a relatively. At the first game I played, I was very close, and then the next couple I wiped the floor with it. So I may need to I may need to up the difficulty a little bit. And then I had my friend over, and we played it again. So I've really been enjoying it. This is an interesting. It's kind of worker placement, but more of just action selection, because you can bump anybody off of a spot. And if you bump them off, well, then they don't have to recall that worker, and they get a bonus. So they're fine with that. You're trying to sort of build out your cruise line. You're trying to build cruise ships that have attractions that will attract the kind of people you want to bring on board. You're trying to develop your technologies so that things are more efficient, and so that the actions you use, you have access to more, because sort of the hook of the game is those gear things you'll see kind of in between the action spaces. When you, if you do an action, you can do the actions on that space, or a space that's adjacent to it that's connected by by gears. And so by placing those out there, you're making it so that you have more options on your turn. You're not sort of constrained to the way the board came out. And that's very interesting. The rules are very clear, very good. It's a big, hefty rule book, but everything's very easy to understand. The iconography is very good, and you have there's a player aid for every player. This novel design that tells you what everything does and reminds you about all the rules in case you can't remember. But yeah, you're just trying to build up the cruise, achieve some company goals, and score the most points, of course. and I find this game to be just such a delight. It's just the perfect sort of weight of a Euro style game. The box is very big. It looks like one of those sort of Eagle Gryphon Vital Lacerda games. It's designed to look like that, but it's not. It's lighter than that, but still at the right sort of level of game that there's really some import to your decisions. I'm really enjoying this one.
And that's the one I skipped on the cruise.
It is.
I skipped the cruise of the cruise. Well, I don't know if regret it. I mean, sometimes you just look at the game and you know it's not for you. And this is not for me. Like you describing it several times, other people writing comments, reviews, whatever. It just you can totally say it's not for me. So, well, I
No,
don't
it's
care
definitely
about
for
this
me.
game,
I've really been
but
enjoying
it's for
it.
you, yes. All right, and well, I played. I talked about it last time, and I played it again. I played another round of freelancers.
Ah,
I played it two-player again. There are some, extra rules and like almost like dummy players. We talked about that before.
hmm
Well, well, we picked a the most difficult scenario. Like it says, it's the most difficult. The last scenario about some undead or something like that. Um, well, I already talked about the game. It's action selection RPG type game where you go somewhere. It says you gain some skills. You do the skill checks. You see what happens. You gain some cards and treasures and armor, whatever. Like lighthearted and some humor in it. And it's app driven. You can listen to the audio. For some weird reason, several audio clips were not able to load. They were
oh
like
no,
missing. There's something with the app.
oh no.
They need to fix that definitely. But no, whatever. We just read that. It's not an end of the end of the world. Now the last scenario, I felt disappointed. It's like it should
Oh,
be the most difficult. Maybe it's just luck. We had a lot of luck.
mm,
Maybe it's not balanced to be the most difficult because I found other scenarios to be more difficult. The story was subpar, very linear.
mm.
Uh, the ending, at some point, it just ended. I'm like, oh, that's how it ends? Nah. It just felt underwhelming. It felt like something was off. The other
Mm.
scenarios were, in my opinion, better.
Oh,
So maybe
well,
it's just me. Maybe it's just me. You need to try it for yourself. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to talk about specific things. But I thought like it said something about undead. I'm like, ooh, it's going to be creepy, crazy, whatever. Nope.
mm.
It's like
Okay.
sometimes too much of that going towards the humorous approach is taking away. I wanted to this one to be a bit more horror, a bit more uh, not real life, but mature. I don't know.
Sure.
Whatever.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Well,
because of the age on the box, so they couldn't go more mature.
one day I'll try that.
Well, the game itself is amazing. I really like it, but the last scenario you might like it, but I would say avoid it for the first place, so you will not be
I
disappointed.
probably won't start at the last scenario.
You can. It's not that hard of a game to learn.
Well, it's probably not the very best place to start.
Well, yeah.
If only
All
there
right.
were a very best place to start.
Well, scenario 2 or 3. I mean,
I see.
the
I've heard
first
that
one is
starting
a
at the very
tutorial.
beginning is the very best
Well,
place to start.
it's a tutorial. I mean,
Well, I've
you
not played the
can,
game,
but you
so
can
I'll have to learn the rules.
yeah, but you can read them. It's not like
I can't
100
read.
pages. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, if it's not 100 pages, I'm out.
It's not Galactic Cruise, I'm out. All right.
Galactic Cruise is only about 50 pages. It was,
Well,
what's Elder Scrolls, it's a good 100. Um,
I see. All right. Let's get to the next topic, which is crowdfunding. Well,
oh, jeez. I mean, this is This is a hard one for me because there aren't really any games out that are on crowdfunding that are really all that interesting to me right now. If I look at my own Kickstarter, which is I'm just not really interested in much that's out there. I am sort of currently looking at the one I want to talk about is the game called Crits and Tricks Tug of Roar, and see if you can find it from there. Crits, Tricks, Tug of War, and Thieves of Eldris.
Is it the same thing?
It's all one Kickstarter. Mm-hmm.
Thieves of Eldris.
There you go.
God. Why?
It's 3 games.
Oh, okay.
It's 3 trick-taking games. Now, this is from the people who did Earth, and Earth was a big hit from them, and I really like Earth. And I have not really liked anything else they've put out, so I don't know why I keep going back to the well, but maybe this one, maybe this one will be great. I love
it the one who made
games.
After Us or something like that? No.
I don't think so. That's not the same company. It's not the same designer for any of these games anyway. It's all this is 3 games from the Twisted Realms, whatever it means. I've got it here on my phone so I can see it. But it's 3 different kinds of trick-taking games. There's one that's a tug of war type game, I guess. I don't know a whole lot about them, right? But they look interesting enough. I enjoy different spins on trick-taking. I don't know that I love sort of the basic, just sort of, here's some trick-taking, let's go and do it. But I enjoy games where the trick-taking is sort of part of something else, or where it's sort of a different spin on it. And these all look like that. Tug of Roar doesn't sound all that interesting, but maybe it will be. But it's part of this one. The sort of thieves, and then the first one, this Crits and Tricks, looks quite interesting, at least looking at the components that are there. There's a sword. And honestly,
like
well, okay, that's fine. It looks like these are trick-taking games with some level of theme in them. I thought one of them might be a cooperative trick-taking game, which I've kind of found those enamoring lately. One of them involves dice, like Mori. Mori is the dice trick-taking game that I know of. I don't know. We'll see how these are. Hopefully, they're small boxes with things that fit in very nicely, and I'll enjoy them. It's always a risk on Kickstarter anyway, but these do look like kind of trick-taking plus something else, and I'm excited to try them. That's a huge board, though.
You're pretty mad. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, Inside Up Games, yeah. After Us was Catch Up Games. That's why,
yeah.
Inside Up, Catch Up.
Well, those are at least different enough. This is the guy. So Earth is sort of his hit, and then he had Terminus, which was an absolute dud, and then Perch, which I haven't really thought was all that special. So 1 in 3.
Yeah. So look, yeah. So the publishers that brought you Earth and Draft and Write. Okay.
Oh, Draft and Write Records, is that his? If that's his, that's a good one too. I like Draft and Write.
Well, for me, as you said, you found it very difficult to find something, right?
I did.
And you are the one who backs thousands and thousands of Kickstarters because you buy
not thousands and
anything.
Thousands, 1,000, single thousand.
You back a lot of Kickstarters that
Okay.
vary from world famous to obscure. Well, and I don't back anything almost. So for me, I just looked through Kickstarter and GameFound. I found nothing.
Oh, okay.
Game was not found.
Well,
Game not found.
That's okay. That's fine too. It's not sort of, this isn't the big season for Kickstarters anyway. They'll all kind of show up here in a few months.
Well, also the as I understand the tax problem that came in recently from some political issues or decisions.
That won't affect whether people put things on Kickstarter, though.
That might, because now they need to rethink logistics. That's what I understand. That
Oh,
now you need to kind of rethink pricing and logistics and stuff. So it might be postponing some of the Kickstarter that might
maybe.
have come out. I'm just speculating,
Yeah, I'd be
but in
okay
different
without any
instances,
interesting ones coming out for a while because I definitely have a backlog.
you need to stop. Yeah. All right. So let's get away from crowdfunding and get back to the games that are available or at least came out already. And
All right.
that's Buy, Try, Goodbye.
All right.
One man show.
So we have these are games that kind of could use an upgrade, or at least that I have definitely put an upgrade in my copies as we talk about them. The first one is a game from a well-enjoyed game designer. Most of his games have been great. This is a game, it's a Euro game, and it needs a little love. This game is called Windmill Valley. And I'll talk about that very briefly. Windmill Valley is sort of all about this action selection mechanism, which is two wheels, two gears that you're going to rotate, and then they will sort of pair two actions, and you're going to select one or the other. And those gears are fantastic, and they feel nice, and they work really well. What's not fantastic is the little tiny cardboard chits that represent the flowers. So
Yeah.
the upgrade that you would do in this game, of course, is you would upgrade those flowers to something that's either 3D printed or plastic or resin or some other type of flower rather than the little flat chips, which feel like you should have thrown them away anyway. So sneaking in an upgrade as well. Anyway, that's the first game. It's a Euro-y game where you're really trying to figure out how you want to score, but the fun of it is going to be in this action selection wheel. The second game is one that I've talked about a little bit in the past. It looked like you still hadn't tried it. This is a game called, the game is called Lords of Vegas. And this game definitely needed a facelift. It's not the prettiest game to begin with. Oh, it looks like it's gotten a facelift. That's the old version. So you've got these casinos. You're taking over Vegas, building larger casinos so that you can get more money out of them, and trying to sneak in and take over other people's. There's an interesting way to score where you need certain amounts of points at once to get over thresholds. This is the new version that I have not seen, but what you're going to upgrade quickly is that horrible paper money to some sort of a nice poker chip type, and that's certainly what I did. I had these little mini chips, which were very satisfying.
Is it still paper money? It is. Maybe it's a better quality. Sometimes they do
it looks like
quality
it is.
paper money.
Okay. It looks like it might be, but the version that was available for a long time, and the version I have, had terrible paper money, so it quickly got upgraded. And anyway, that's your second one, is Lords of Vegas. And your third one is a solo game that has been on my mind a lot because I recently got another dump of Kickstarter things, and that's Final Girl. And Final Girl, I know I've talked about, but this is a game where you are playing through horror movies as the sort of surviving final heroine, and you're trying to vanquish the big bad in one way or another. And the game is fantastic, very thematic, and it looks like you can get minis, but they don't come with the game. What comes with the game is those meeples. And the upgrade is either the minis or there's a company that does stickers for them, and you can put stickers on these meeples, and they look much better when you have, sort of a face and a character to them. There's also upgrades that you can get for the time tracker and the bloodlust counter and various other pieces of the game. So it's one that's easily upgradable. Now, the game is fun. It's a solo adventure. You're trying to, win or die. Well, not die. You're trying to win. The other option is that you'll die.
Well, okay, so I'm not a solo guy. I will tell you right away. If it's not, I would play a solo game if there's not much management. Much
There
of
is
that.
not much management. This is a very sleek solo.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, because I'm kind of interested in Final Girl. What stops me is a solo only, so I will not buy it because I don't need to have solo only games in my collection. But this is something in this case, in this topic, by Try Goodbye, I would buy because I am really interested in the theme. I like the premises. I like the premise. I like the horror and that you can kind of buy cassettes and have different villains and different scenarios. So
Mm-hmm.
this seems to be expandable. It seems to be uh, something of a theme that I would want to try.
Okay.
But in this case, it's a buy
Got it.
situation. It's a buy try.
Yes,
Try
I
buy.
see. Buy and then try. Got it?
Yeah. No, not goodbye. No. Okay. Anyway, try is let me think. Well, I like games with money. I like games with economy. So maybe Lords of Vegas might be the one because it's just Windmill Valley sounds like yet another Euro from Board
It
and
is.
Dice.
It is.
Well, there's thousands of them. I'm getting tired of them.
No, there aren't
But
thousands.
euros total?
Not from Boards and Dice.
I know, but euros total. All similar. Anyway, I think Try is Lords of Vegas. Try. And Try Goodbye would be today it's all about I can try anything, but I have
Mm-hmm.
to put them in the categories. So Buy
You
Try
do.
was Final Girl, Try, Lords of Vegas, and Try Goodbye is Windmill Valley because even if I'm gonna try it, I'm like, oh, that's another euro. I don't need that one.
I see. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's my choice. All right. So here we are with the last topic of the day. Not last topic of the day,
It
but
is.
the last topic, which is the topic of the day.
I see.
That's what I
Okay.
wanted to say. Because previous ones were just topics. Top 5 games that need aftermarket updates. Upgrades.
Upgrades. Yep.
Whoops. Well,
Games you love that
let,
need a little love.
let me upgrade this one too. Here you go.
Ah, there we are.
I upgraded it.
There we are.
It's right on the nose. Let me tell you what. Well, I proposed that you proposed the theme. I was like,
I
okay,
did.
let's do it. It's not going to be hard. Then I sat down, and I had the hardest time. I'm not sure if my list will be valid at all. I'm like,
Well,
I cannot really. I know it's very subjective, but I couldn't really come up with anything.
oh
Like
no.
I'm thinking about different games. I'm like, I cannot come up with anything I would upgrade. I mean, like there's some. Well, I went with a certain approach. Like, is there one thing in a certain game I would definitely want to upgrade because it's flimsy, whatever. It's not, and there weren't many games. I'm like, well, I'm good with that game because I usually I buy much less games than you,
Sure,
and
that's
then
true.
when I buy a game, I'm more critical about components. I'm critical about components and art and everything. So
Hmm.
I'm avoiding all of those obscure games, like those
None of my
sauna,
games will be obscure.
like those sauna games or sitting games or whatever.
Oh, well, you could play those. Those would need an upgrade in the rules, unfortunately, and that's not what we're talking about here.
Well, Anyway, my list is not very imaginative, but if you approve, then I'm fine.
Okay, very well. We'll see. All right, let's
Oh,
go.
by the way, no inserts. We decided
No, we're not talking about
inserts.
or rules errata or anything like that. This is just sort of
or
components
sleeves as
upgrades.
well. I'm not talking about
No,
sleeves.
that's not what I'm talking about either.
Yeah, because board game inserts, that would be most of the games.
Yes, it would.
Well, let me.
And the reason I got this is because I recently purchased a 3D printer, and that enables you to sort of,
Well,
assuming it works, upgrade things.
well, you would upgrade anything.
Oh yeah, and I also recently purchased a whole bunch of upgrades from China for games. There's a website, or there was an Etsy shop, tinkering something or other, that tinkering toys, I think, and they have so many amazing upgrades for games. that I was like, oh, look at all these wonderful things.
Okay.
So
All right. Let's get to number 5.
let's go. All right. My number 5 is going to sound a lot that the first two words are the first two words of a game from the Buy, Try, Goodbye segment. This is Lords of, but instead of Vegas, it's Waterdeep. Lords of Waterdeep is a game where immediately when I got it, I immediately upgraded something. And that is the game comes with cubes to represent all of the different adventurers. And immediately, within probably weeks of this thing coming out, people were selling little wooden meeples to replace the cubes in this game. Because why are your adventurers cubes? That's the most boring thing that they could possibly be. So I immediately upgraded that. And that adds an extra layer of theme to this game. Yeah, so there's a variety of different ones. Those ones look like they might be plastic, but I'm surprised that the game just didn't come with them because the cubes are so boring. You can upgrade the money too, as you can see there. There's a lot of other things you can upgrade, but the cubes had to go very quickly.
Yeah. There are many pictures of cubes. People are just upgrading. I mean, this is the game. This is the one I thought about.
Okay.
But because I played it so long ago, I was like, I don't know. I just cannot connect myself with the game anymore because I played it so many years ago that
this game really holds up. If you dust it back off again, you'll be able to get right back into it. This one it's worth coming back to. It's been around a long time, but it definitely it needed just that little push to get it to where it needed to be.
Well, I remember it being a good game, and then I remember discussing debating if this one or the Champions of Midgard, and I decided to go with Champions of Midgard. I kind of
that's also a good game.
Opposed them, and this one definitely should be played with the Scoundrel port.
Oh yeah, the expansion is definitely something that I would always use.
All right, here we go.
There you go.
Lords of Waterdeep, and my number 5. Well, mine is not in any particular order.
Okay.
I'll just put them whatever I came up with. So my number 1 is not less or more or whatever.
Fair.
It's all the same. They're all the same.
Okay.
My first one may be on a lighter side because some people might disagree, but I've seen so many upgrades on Etsy, whatever other websites where they upgrade those particular tokens. The game is Last Ruins of Arnak.
Yep.
And the upgrades are the money and the compasses. Now, why? Because
and the books and the magnifying glasses.
Yeah, well, the book's magnifying glasses, yeah, as well, which I have all of these upgrades. But the biggest concern I had was I know for some where I don't know if I can. Okay, you see here. So the arrows, the tablets, whatever they are, manuscripts, and the gems are plastic. Yet the compasses and money are cardboard, and it was like, but it's all the same array of resources that you use in order to go upgrade whatever. Like these are 5 different resources you use during the game, and well, I understand that you use money and compasses to buy cards, but well, it was not fitting well in my head that some of it is plastic, some of it is cardboard. So I had to upgrade money, I had to upgrade compasses, and of course I got the glass, the magnifying glass, whatever.
Sure.
I think I have wooden ones, and I also got the clock, which is the first player token.
You can also upgrade that wand that keeps track of the rounds too.
I don't remember if I have. I think I might have because I bought it as some kind of
a set.
A set, and it might have. So now everything is plastic. Yes, they are not the same plastic as compasses, are like more of a 3D print feel to it, but who cares? Now it's all consistent. It's
I
all
definitely
3D.
agree. This was one that was on my short list, but did not make the cut. But I definitely can see doing that because I immediately did so myself. I also
Well,
got
yeah,
stickers for my meeples because they have a little more personality now.
yeah, and you can see this cardboard and crystal.
Hmm.
Like, it doesn't really. I
Yep.
cannot find any upgraded pieces, but whatever.
Well, go to Etsy, put in Last Ruins of Arnak, and you'll definitely find some.
You'll find a lot of different variations. Oh, maybe here
Hmm.
you can see people.
Ooh, those are nice. That's
I
the
have
expensive set.
no.
And they upgraded
Are
the
this metal?
tablets too. They look like they might be.
Well, maybe they painted the tablets themselves.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, and they have
Okay.
these hats and stuff. You can whatever and
Yeah,
compasses.
there's a lot you can do for this game.
This fancy compasses. I looked at them, but I got another set. So
Hmm.
this one was too fancy for me. All right, let's get to number 4.
Let's go.
Oh, here.
All right, my number 4 is I guess a series of games now, but I'm only going to talk about the first one. Although I immediately upgraded the first and the second, and am looking for a way to upgrade the third, and the game is Wingspan. Wingspan looks great,
Yeah.
right? It's got nice cards with nice artwork, and your action selection tokens are little cubes. And that is very disappointing. There's a lot of ways you can upgrade them. You can upgrade them into little bird houses. You can buy them or 3D print them. There's little painted wooden birds where you can sort of select a type of birds. The food is these boring cardboard chits. I immediately upgraded those to sort of little painted wooden pieces. Everything about this game, other than the eggs, all of the kind of components
Yeah.
really needed some love because they don't look great if it's just cubes and chits. Even the little birdhouse, I eventually got a plastic one because it kind of starts to show some wear because I played this game a lot. But this is a game where certainly it's playable right out of the box, but if you enjoy it, it's one that it'll feel a lot more fun if you upgrade just a few of those pieces, especially the cubes and the food, though.
Yeah, I totally agree. I upgraded my resources as well. I didn't upgrade any of the cubes because it's just action selection. Why did I didn't put it on my list? Because I was trying to think towards the is it really necessary for me? Does it bother me that much? The cubes don't bother me that much. The tokens, resources didn't bother me that much, but I like this game. I have this huge nesting box, whatever, big box. Let me upgrade it even more. It's like it wasn't necessary, but yeah, I like so the birdhouse. I don't have a problem with it because I haven't played it maybe enough to wear it off. So maybe
Fair
I will
enough.
think about that. But I was thinking about it. But the biggest thing is that it's towards the insert, but the part of the insert that I had was that the card holding box. There was a wooden one that was coming with the insert, and it still had those edge holes or whatever the spaces for cards that you can put on
Hmm.
top, like in this one. Like that was kind of it's an insert, but that was kind of an upgrade from that plastic top to that kind of wooden top where you can put down the cards. It was also felt great. So, but I mean, the production is still good on this one,
It is good, but it for me it needed a little bit of help.
and you can get some eggs that are I don't know that the shaped not shaped but
Shaded and speckled eggs. There's a whole bunch of
speckled.
stuff.
Yes,
This is a game where there's a bunch of options to upgrade. All you have to do is look, and you'll immediately find a lot of them. And I'll tell you,
speckled.
those peanuts are not an upgrade. Uh,
Well, oh, that's cute.
those are
I'm
cute.
trying to. Oh, here you go. This
That's
is
what I've got.
the most common. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the one. But
Hmm.
I'm just trying to find while we talk. I'm trying to find
Sure,
the
yeah, of
right
course.
pictures to
Well,
show
you'll
you
have
what
trouble with
upgrades
my
are
next
done.
one. Um,
Well, let's see. My number 4 is. Let me see what it is. Oh, it's the one. I think you will agree with me. I'm sure
yep.
you will agree with me. Well, one of the components can stay the way it is because I mean, you can upgrade it too if you have it available. But the other one I think is a necessary upgrade. And I'm talking about a game called Nidavellir.
Oh.
And Nidavellir has this uh, the stand for the coins.
I hate that thing.
You can see it's like you basically put it together. It's already bending. It's flimsy. It's weak. It's not a thick cardboard. It's just if you want to play this game, like, and they have these small stands as well. The plastic stands, not the best. I would say they should have been bigger to fit cards more properly. Also, not the best, but I mean, the stand must go. The stand must go. You need to have either plastic one or wooden one would be great. You know, the rest, the coins, because they are some of them are different colors and they have the numbers on them. I think metallic coins would be hard to see those numbers and not so, you know, right in your face.
I've seen some plastic ones that look nice, but I didn't buy them.
Well, maybe you can have plastic ones. Oh, you can see. Oh, here there's some.
Oh, there we are.
Here I found.
Excuse me.
But yeah, you can see this cardboard. It just after a few plays, it's look at this. What is it? It's already bending from the start.
Yeah, I very quickly upgraded my coin stand.
Well, here we go. Good game.
It is.
So great components.
No, well, some of them.
Let's get to number 3.
Let's go. All right, my number 3 is the one. So 2 of the items on my list I feel are critical to being able to play the game, and my number 3 is one of them. And this is not a sexy upgrade, right? This is not painted wooden birds or food meeples or even little meeples to replace the cubes. This is for a game called Deus.
Okay.
And in Deus, the game comes with discs to represent the different resources. And one of the discs is the wrong color. In fact, if you look at the cards, it has it pictured as brown, but it comes pictured as green, but it comes with brown discs to represent that resource.
Yeah, I remember now. Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, this is terrible. Why is that way, right? Why is brown green? I mean, red is red, yellow is yellow, gray is gray. Why is brown green?
The trees and the leaves on the trees. I don't know.
But it required an extra. It got in the way of people being able to play the game. So many times people would say, "Well, where's the brown resource?" Or where's the green resource, right? See, I can't even remember which one it was, but I had to buy the green discs. And so green discs to replace your brown discs in Deus, or brown to replace green, whichever way it went. I
think there were brown discs, yeah, or something like that.
And they had to be replaced with green. And maybe in a newer printing, they came out with the right color. But it was an inexcusable choice in the game because there's no reason to have the wrong color of resource.
You can see the brown discs.
Yes, there you go. And so I got green ones. I mean, they weren't expensive, right? This was just a few dollars to make an upgrade, but it made the game so much more playable.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. And, well, when I think about Deus, I'm thinking about upgrading the whole game. The whole game needs to be swiped away and upgraded. Like
it's not a looker.
Like 90s type meeple houses stuff from old games. And it's 2014. Come on, it's so cheaply done. The cards
one of the cards had a typo on it, but
I mean the cards and the art on the cards is okay. The board is as ugly as sin.
So
that's why maybe it's not on my list. Because
all of that you can live with, but the discs that are the wrong color is just inexcusable. I mean, they could have done that. They could have done that right.
Well, games that need another game to replace those games, that would be on my list. Yeah.
Well, I love the game. The game of Deus is a lot of fun. It just is not a looker.
Yeah, the game. The card play was fun. The board action was not fun. The card game was fun. Yeah. All right. Well, my number 3, and we talked about this game today, and just before we started recording.
Okay.
Well, the new edition is still not in retail, so there's a new edition, but there's a lot of people who own an old edition of the game, and that's my personal feel. Maybe because I like the game a lot, and maybe because the new edition came with a choice to replace that particular component, and it's Cyclades, but the original one.
Okay.
So the Legendary Edition already comes with the well, there's two things. So with the Legendary Edition, you can buy an Ultimate Edition. You can probably then, if it comes to retail, You, as I understand, you will be able to buy some stuff separately, like 3D buildings, which I think is a very good thing to have 3D buildings, because these tokens right here, they kind of
sad.
They're sad. They kind of take away, because you have those miniatures, you have monsters, you can see you have all of that, and then you have this. The what are these that give you income things filled with fruits? The horns filled with fruits.
The cornucopias?
Whatever. It's they call something else, but
it's a cornucopia.
Well, you can upgrade those too. That's fine. Maybe upgrade them so they are more recognizable on the board. But the biggest thing I upgraded when I had the original copy are the coins.
Yep.
And I feel, because you play with the coins a lot. It's all about the coins strategy. It's all about the economy of those. You handle them a lot. They wear off a lot. And what I did, there weren't any official Cyclades coins. Now they are. As an add-on, I could get them. So basically, Legendary Edition now that I have with Cyclades has all of the upgrades that I wanted. So they kind of listened to me. Well, I bought just the themed Spartan and Athenian coins.
Okay.
And I bought 2 sets, so I mixed them together so they were different coins. But it was really fun to kind of play with them and touch them. They were not. They were misshaped on purpose, something like that, and they were
okay.
The upgrade. It kind of felt now it's on the next level.
Got it.
Yeah, but overall you can also upgrade buildings in the original if you will. I'm sure there are people who on Etsy who made 3D those.
There's always something on Etsy.
Sesame did the official version of 3D buildings and whatever else. Well,
all right. Well, I'll look forward to seeing my new edition when it arrives. But yep, this is one that can use a small upgrade.
And I'm you know why it's true? That's what I said, because the new edition did all of that. That means it needed an upgrade.
I see. Okay. Very well.
No more babbling about it.
There we go. All right. My number 2. Some people, if I were to say this game is getting an upgrade, would say, well, all of the art. That's not what I'm talking about here. But this game... What?
Ethnos?
Well, trust me, I have thoughts on Ethnos. It's gotten a couple of upgrades, and it still needs another one. But the game I'm going to talk about is a classic, Terraforming Mars. And Terraforming Mars needs a whole bunch of upgrades. It comes with very boring tiles to represent everything, right? These hexagonal tiles, whether they represent generic cities or forests or water. You can definitely replace those because they're all very functional, but that's all they are, is functional. In fact, the sort of definitive edition of the game came with nice plastic minis to represent all of these different things. The trackers for the different parameters you're going through are just boring white cubes, and you can turn them into a variety of things, whether it's a little thermometer standee or a little thing that sort of slides up and is shaped like it's supposed to be. The cubes, the sort of kind of core resource of the game, you could turn them into actual metal, like what happened with the small Ares Expedition version came with, I believe, metal cubes, not just the whatever they were that was kind of a painted something or other, but kind of heavy actual metal cubes. Everything about this really, and then the player boards. The player boards themselves were awful. It was just this little mat and stuff could slide around, and so immediately somebody came out with little plastic acrylic trays that could go over the top and hold everything in place. And then eventually the game came out with a double layered board, which does sort of the same thing. This game is a great game. I really enjoy it. It's big and sprawling and a little too long, but I still really enjoy it. What?
Little too long, I would say.
It's a little too long. It's
for a card game. Yeah.
But I still enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. I like now that there's an app, I can play it all I want there. And that's a great upgrade because I don't have to do anything with it. But the physical components of the game really, this was sort of, it was, Stronghold didn't always do the best job with their physical components anyway. And so this really kind of felt prototypey, honestly, when it came out. Even though it was a fantastic game and was well loved and still is, it just, I don't think anyone plays with 100% out of the box game.
Where there are some people who don't have enough resources to buy or upgrade, so they play it. They are forced to by the economic situation.
I don't think anyone's forced to play Terraforming Mars, but
well, it's a good choice. I thought about that for a split second, but then I'm like, I discarded idea of Terraforming Mars a long time ago when I played Ares Expedition, because and Ares Expedition was elevated enough for me to kind of be like, yeah. And I kind of consider Ares Expedition to be the Terraforming Mars it should have been. yeah, in a sense. Well, the only thing it didn't upgrade, in my opinion, is, like, I'm not talking about physical upgrades, but the length of the game. I thought about that. Like, I thought that it would be 1 hour, 1.5 hour game, but there's so many combos you can do, and the game can drag on even with 2 players. Well, I played with somebody as a 2-player game, and we put out so many cards, and we weren't slow or anything like that. Thinking too much during our turn. There's a lot of simultaneous things going on, and it took us like 2.5 or 3 hours to play it, and we had a ton of cards out.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I got rid of it eventually. Ares Expedition is a better game.
True.
But it's, for a card game, is too long, and this one is
a little on the long side.
Terraforming Mars for
me
also
is a little on the long side.
Terraforming Mars is obsolete for me. Fully. I haven't played with any of the expansions, of course, but the base game is obsolete.
I got the recent sort of set of expansions with the updated solo version, and I found that to be very interesting.
Yeah, maybe the expansions will elevate it too.
Some of them are terrible, but anyway, that's my number 2, a game that really could use some upgrades. Whether those are a new game to replace it or better components, hey, you can choose.
A new game. All right. My number 2 is the one you will agree with. I think, look, with some of these games, when I looked at some of the games. There are retail editions, and there are Kickstarter editions and Ultimate editions, whatever. I'm coming from my experience of, and I know there are upgraded versions, like Kickstarter exclusive versions of those games, but I'm coming from my own experience, what I experience, and what you can buy in retail. I'm thinking about retail copies usually, like not
Okay.
these Uber legendary editions, whatever they are.
Okay.
So my number 2 is Wonderland's War.
Hmm.
And what do you think is the component that you should upgrade? The biggest one.
Is it the meeples so that they're nice minis?
Well, no, I don't
No.
care. I like meeples.
Is it bases for the characters that you get so that you can tell whose they are?
That's a good idea. Yes, one of those, but I mean, like,
Is
I
it the
can.
chits that you pull out of the bag?
Well, here you go. The upgraded chits. Uh, well, the base game, the retail version comes with cardboard chits, small chits, and it just, it's not as satisfying to pull them out of the bag. These ones, well, I don't have them yet,
Oh.
but I know I need them. I know I
Yes,
need them. The only thing
you
that
do.
keeps me from buying them is that they cost the same as a new good game that I would like. It's around
Oh.
60 euros plus shipping.
Oh.
Well, I can buy a whole new game. I could buy Unconscious Mind instead of those ships. So that's why I'm hesitant to buy them. Maybe there will be a discount at some point, but I think I will eventually buy it. But
You could upgrade a game you already like. You know you like the game.
yes, one thing I've thought about like upgrading, but I couldn't really. I need to look into that. Coin capsules,
Those
so
are
I could
nice.
just buy some
Those are a
Chinese
nice
coin
cheap
capsules.
upgrade if for a game like this. And in fact,
Well, it's not cheap.
for well, cheaper, and you can use them for other games too.
Yeah.
A,
To be
a
honest,
bag, a huge bag of coin capsules would cost like $15.
well, it's Europe. It costs more for me. I
Oh,
looked at
okay.
different websites, and it's just, and for some reason is they don't. For some reason they don't. I looked at different ones, and they're like, it's 100 of those, and you cannot buy more than 100. And I could not buy 2 copies of 100 sets.
No,
I'm like, why?
that's odd.
I don't know, some weird thing. Anyway,
Well, then you should just buy the chits if you are the upgraded chips if you want them.
I mean, if I would spend like 40 euros on coin capsules, then maybe just spend
You
60
might as well
euros
just
on.
buy the new ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
All
that's it.
right.
I
There you
hope you
go. Yeah,
agree.
I agree. This is a game that I thought it was on my list of things to upgrade, although my edition has all those upgrades.
All right, here we go. Let's get to the final one, number 1.
Let's go. All right. So I mentioned that there were 2 games on the list where I really think it needs an upgrade to make it actually playable. One was Deus, and the other one is Voidfall. So Voidfall is a game I love. I love Voidfall. I love teaching it. I love playing it. I don't love setting it up, and I don't love the ships that fall over.
Do you mean the
And
stack that you show
I love
around
that.
with? That's an
Well,
upgrade for every
that's
game.
an upgrade for every game. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's been one of my favorite
Yeah.
upgrades. But so the game has really 2 upgrades that I'm thinking of. The first of them, and you won't be able to find it on Board Game Geek. In fact, you probably have to go to Etsy. But when you set up the game, you have to choose a number of technologies. And the problem is the storage system the game comes with, the technologies are in these little trays that aren't labeled, and they're underneath other cards, and so you really have to open every single tray to find all the technologies. So the upgrade is there's this nice insert that you can hold that holds them all, and it's labeled on the side of what goes where. That is an amazing upgrade. The the other issue with the game is these ships that you're going to use. And if you buy the base game, the non-deluxe version, it's a cardboard token with holes in it. If you buy the nice fancy one, it's that mini on a stick. And those minis on a stick fall over all the damn time. And they're obnoxious to put together, and you have to take them all the way apart to put the game away. So I upgraded it to a nice plastic 3D printed chip that's just flat. It's a token. It sits on the board, and it has holes to hold the cubes, and that solves all of that crap. It adds an extra half hour to your life after every game of Voidfall. Now, I have all those metal things. Those came with my copy, so I'm not counting those. Those plastic things are included. That's all standard, at least in the version I got. But I'm talking about specifically the ships and the tray to hold the cards, because what comes with the box is really almost unusable.
Well, yeah. The only ships I can find are plastic ones, so...
Yeah, you'd have to go to Etsy if you wanted to see these.
No, I mean, like, there aren't any cardboard.
Oh, the cardboard ones? Yeah, because nobody really bought the base edition, right? People either got the big box or didn't get the game.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the metal pieces the metal gears are nice. Those are, I mean, those came with mine. They weren't painted like that, but I could always sick Victor on them. But this game doesn't need to be painted. But I mean, see those ships there, those plastic ships with the cubes. About halfway through the game, people give up on them, and they just use the tray to hold the 2 cubes or the 3 cubes, unless it's a special ship, and because it is so obnoxious with these things constantly falling over.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. I played the game, but I played your upgraded version anyway, so...
Well, and that was it might even have been before. No, I probably had the technology tray at that point, but I didn't have the ship.
You had it.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that. Here you go.
Well, and on the Dice Tower Cruise, when I taught somebody the game, having to go back to those horrible trays that come with it, I dreaded it, and it took an extra 45 minutes. Well, especially because somebody had put it away on the chaotic system where they'd essentially just dumped all the cards in and shaken the box. But going through those trays and organizing them again and finding all the cards was just so frustrating. It adds an extra at least half an hour or 45 minutes to the setup.
Yep. All right. My number 1, and as I said, in no particular order, it's not like it's... Though... That's one component I just don't like. It's flimsy. It's not... It seems to be inaccurate and...
Flimsy and inaccurate? That was my college nickname.
It's the dice. It's the particular dice tower with cardboard pieces underneath, and it's from the spill. This is this spill tower.
Okay.
Now, it's a cheap plastic, and you can see this is a cardboard here. The cardboard wears off, and it's not... It's kind of it's flimsy. Like there's no cuts. There's no cuts in the board where like you can, insert it in, for example. It just... Maybe you can somehow, accidentally move it a little bit. And also, when you disassemble and assemble it all the time, it's not... It comes with this sticks. You put the sticks, then the platform, the sticks and the platform. They're chipped. They're not really inserting really well. I don't know how to describe it. It feels very cheap, and it feels like it's not accurate in a sense that we try to... So we played the Dice Tower Cruise copy, and all the dice went only 1 or 2 ways, like the same way all the time. Like, and when we tried to reassemble this thing, and then we rotated it the other way to see if it still holds. Yes, we rotated this thing to the other side, and now the dice went that way. Like, something's wrong with this one. I'm sure it was, and it has to be disassembled in order to fit the box. So while probably disassembling this tower, you kind of bend it or something happens, it's accurate. It's bad. It should have been a more sturdy. It's a nice idea, but they needed to do something else with it because
All right.
then the dice distribution will be one-sided. So
Very well.
I
I've not played
changed
this
the
one,
game.
so I can't comment. But having to disassemble something every time you put it in the box sounds very annoying.
Well, another thing that will annoy you is there are stickers. Yes, and the stickers, and can you see the sticker going over the edge?
Yeah.
Because the sticker is bigger than this platform here,
Oh,
than
no.
this side here, and they are like they don't fit. Like, and maybe you have to put them on those sides on top, but it didn't feel correct.
That's
So
terrible.
it felt like it should just be fitting this particular shape well. It does not. Yeah, it's anyway.
That's unfortunate.
One thing that if you have I bought the special edition. Another thing that's need to be upgraded. Then the thing is that you should just buy the deluxe version. The game is still good. It's pandemic like. You have to manage yourself until the hell comes and try to get the objective done before you lose. It's like
Okay.
it's yeah, survive. Uh, these tiles, as you see here, these are wooden tokens with prints on them. They are nice. The initial version comes with the cardboard tiles. Well, you can see there's a lot of people. Look, see these. They are small,
Oh,
hard to pick up. They're not the best. Those wooden tiles are easy to pick up, and you have to pick them up a lot and manage them a lot. So I don't know. It's just much easier, fancier to have wooden ones. So this is another
sure.
upgrade. But
All
the
right.
dice tower is
Is a must.
no,
All right.
I don't know how to. I don't know if they have any upgrades. I don't know if Etsy has any upgrades for this one because this is the dice tower that needs to spread the dice in 4 directions, which I don't know if it exists. It's not a usual dice tower, but they need to do something about that.
I see.
Well,
Now there you
number
have
one.
it. I can't comment on that, but I can understand how it would be annoying if it didn't work properly. If it were flimsy and inaccurate.
Yeah, I didn't know how to describe it. It just it is inaccurate because it
And
spreads
flimsy.
the dice. It is flimsy because it's kind of shaky and you can accidentally move it and do whatever it is, and it's
Got
hard
it.
to assemble it properly. Yeah.
Very well.
Well, that's it. I hope my choices were valid
I
enough.
think they were. I can't comment on the last one, but the others seemed to be.
Well, that's good. That's good. Then I did my job well.
You did your job. All right. You passed this time.
I
No
passed this
cheating.
time. Well,
I didn't cheat
well,
either.
yeah, I had no crowdfunding, but I mean,
No,
like,
that's true.
look.
You failed there. Well, I didn't exactly pull out the stops on that one either.
You you were scraping the bottom of this barrel,
it's a
barely
rough
getting any
period, but that's
drops.
okay. I
Yeah.
want a rough period. I don't need lots of Kickstarters right now.
Well, and when they come, you go berserk mode again.
Oh my goodness. Well, I want to go upstairs and play Elder Scrolls again, but I have a huge pile of games that's just sitting there waiting for me to play it, and so it
Nice.
gets in the way of me playing other games that I want to play.
And I want to play Dragon Eclipse, which I could
Oh, I
definitely
could play
play.
that.
Well, they said in the last update, they said that due to some logistical problems with the shipping lines.
Of course.
Yeah. No. The ships were en route, but they were delayed by something. So
Mm-hmm. That's
the
all. Yeah, trust me, I know.
vessel sailing time was prolonged by
Mm-hmm.
some more days, and there are 2 ships. One of them is coming at the end of the February, something like that, and the other one is coming in March. So if I'm in the second batch, in the second container, if my copy is in the second container, I'm gonna get it in April or something like that.
Or maybe after
Um,
Eurovision. Um,
something like that. So I'm yeah. But my birthday is in April. Maybe it comes by that time, and
Ah,
I'll be happy.
and it's a solo game, so you'll enjoy having a nice solo game to play.
I also pre-ordered Witcher Old World expansions that had to come retail long time ago. I don't know why they couldn't print
Oh,
them.
and that's not the same as the new Witcher game that's also coming out, right?
So the new Witcher game Kickstarter or GameFound project had the original Old World game. So these are two different games, but they had them as add-on. The base game, the Old World, and all the expansions as add-ons, which means that if this new Path of Destiny or something like that, if this new game
that's the one. Mm-hmm.
is delayed, and I looked at this one and it was delayed. Or no, it wasn't delayed, but for some reason shops list. Yeah.
I think the new Kickstarter had expansions that were just the same name as Witcher Old World's expansions. I don't think that. Yeah. I mean, maybe they were add-ons separately, but when I looked,
they were add-ons separately.
Okay, but when I looked at sort of, you got the all-in game thing on that one. The expansions all had the same names as the Witcher Old World names, which made it very confusing.
No, there were separate add-ons. I think they added these add-on later into the project. But yeah, the thing is that the different shops listed. So I pre-ordered them because pre-ordering, there's a discount, a Monster Trail, the Adventure Pack, whatever. And it listed the end of last year. Then it got delayed into the January. Now it's the end of February. But then I was like, let me look at the Path of Destiny. Maybe there's some clue about because they're the same company. Maybe it's like the retail of these expansions will be printed together with that new game and its expansions.
Maybe.
And I went there. I found that they were add-ons. I'm like, oh. So if these games are not yet shipping to backers, that means the original game things are also not yet available. Yeah, I think they're on the ships. They said that the old
it looked like it's coming pretty soon.
So maybe I'll get my pre-orders eventually, like in April, May. I don't know as well, because I pre-ordered from a shop, not from them.
Oh, okay.
So
very well.
I just had to get it off my chest.
I heard. I noticed.
I'm frustrated, and I want you to feel jealous about me having Cyclades Legendary Edition.
I am perfectly happy for you to have it, because I know mine will come here, and it'll be a while before I have enough people to play it anyway.
You know what's above it?
I have so many games. What is above it?
What's above it?
I can't see. Your finger's in the way.
It's a lot of joy.
Ah! Did you get the expansions or just the base game?
I found only one expansion, High Tides or something like that.
Oh,
I found only one expansion.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got the base game and the expansion right away when I found it. So Joyride.
Probably enough.
Yeah.
You know, the other cars are fun, but you can have a good time with just what's in the box.
I went on some kind of a weird streak of buying stuff, and then I
welcome to my world.
Yeah, I bought. After I bought Wandering Galaxies, I also bought, Joyride. I bought Unconscious Mind, and it was like, but there's expansion available. Do I need that one? I don't know. I've not played Unconscious Mind, but then I bought it just in case.
Mine came with the expansion, but I've never used it. I mean, maybe it's amazing, but I haven't had a chance to try it because I've always been teaching it to new people.
Yeah, and also accidentally pushed the button on Clank Legacy 2.
Oh.
It was just it was there. It was finally available.
Yeah,
and it just came in retail. I'm like, well, and I was trying to find something to eat, and the Uber Eats and the Brain Games web shop are so similar to each other. So
they are. It's almost the same word. I understand.
Yeah. Because I thought Clank is some kind of a Japanese ramen food, and
It's the sound that the fork makes as it touches your teeth.
yes. Anyway,
All right.
we're prolongated.
We are. We're getting a little delirious, but
That's fine.
let's end it here, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you another time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.